This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Here's an interesting question about Magnum TA. This one comes to us from Michael Eldridge, who always brings pretty good questions to the show. Does Arn think Magnum TA would have been the NWA's version of Hulk Hogan had he not been injured? Or would he have just been a short-term champion till Rick got the title back?
I think the sky's the limit with Magnum because he hadn't been working that long when he got hurt. He was still getting better. He was still improving. He was still learning the business, and he had a very unique look. His work rate was coming along, handsome guy. He did a promo. Now you're talking about credible promos. When he would do a promo, you believed him. He was one of those baby faces that he wasn't going to tell you anything was going to happen unless it was going to happen. He wouldn't guarantee something and then fall short. And he had that fire in his eyes that baby faces have to have if they're going to be top draws. You have to believe what they say is going down is going down. He would have been a better performer than Hogan. As to someone to compare him to, I'm not really sure. I would compare him. Oh gosh, I don't even know. I don't even know the right one to compare him to. But he had a bright future ahead of him, man. He was just getting started, and God knows. I know Jim Crockett and the world lost a superstar that day. That's for sure.
Let's switch gears and do a sort of a weird question here. I don't think I've ever seen it phrased like this. Mike wants to know, does Arn think Vince McMahon gets personal enjoyment going against or screwing over wrestling fans who consume his product?
Next question.
All righty. Here's one from Mike, another Mike. We got lots of Mikes. Double A, do you have any George South stories to share?
George was a guy that when you went to Atlanta TV or our television for Jim Crockett Promotions, if you saw George South's name again on the other side of yours as an opponent, you were absolutely thrilled because George was a polished performer. He was a businessman. He was a professional, very skilled. And he was like having a veteran in there. The guy knew his job, did his job well, and you could really go out and have a good, solid match with George. And the guys that didn't just missed the boat because he would enhance any match that he was in. And to this day, it's probably the exact same thing.
Let's do one more. We'll do two more, then we'll wrap it up. John wants to know, what are your thoughts on Rip Rogers? Do you like him, dislike him? Any good stories about him? We've always heard as fans, he's one of the best trainers around.
Yeah, I like Rip. Rip was a very knowledgeable guy. He was in Pensacola for that part of that 14 months I was there. He was a very good performer. He was great with working with young guys. He had his valet was Fleabag, which was his wife, Brenda. And they were a great team. They had a great gimmick. And Rip has always been able to communicate with young talent and teach them. And anybody that's been trained by Rip has nothing but good things to say about him. And that's how I kind of judge Rip Rogers is how do his students feel about him? And a lot of good guys have been trained by him, and they have nothing but positive things to say. So I'm sure they're probably right on.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.